world is built on numbers. They're behind every business. They inform every decision. Numbers have the power to truly transform, drive ambition, and create sustainable economies. But can you see the opportunity ahead of the numbers? Do you see making a difference first and the numbers second? See progress beyond the numbers? If the answer is yes, then chartered accountancy could be for you. Become a chartered accountant. Become a difference maker.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Is built on numbers. They're behind every business. They inform every decision. Numbers have the power to truly transform, drive ambition, and create sustainable economies. But can you see the opportunity ahead of the numbers? Do you see making a difference first and the numbers second? See progress beyond the numbers? If the answer is yes, then chartered accountancy could be for you. Become a chartered accountant. Become a difference maker.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Our world is built on numbers. They're behind every business. They inform every decision. Numbers have the power to truly transform, drive ambition, and create sustainable economies. But can you see the opportunity ahead of the numbers? Do you see making a difference first and the numbers second? See progress beyond the numbers? If the answer is yes, then Chartered Accountancy could be for you. Become a Chartered Accountant. Become a difference maker.
Wherever you are in the world, there's a symbol that shows you're part of a global network of trusted, highly skilled individuals. With over 750,000 chartered accountants and 1 million students in 190 countries. Research shows that if you display the Chartered Accountants Worldwide Network member logo, business leaders and clients see you as more relevant to helping them internationally. You worked hard for this respect. Display it with pride. Join the global network of chartered accountants. We're stronger together.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody from wherever you're dialing into, and welcome to the next episode in our Chartered Accountants Worldwide Difference Makers podcast. I'm Sinead Donovan, and I'm here today to talk to Asma Shabazz. Asma is a member of Chartered Accountants Pakistan. I'm delighted to have her come in and talk to me. Asma is an experienced member, specialising in the governance and risk space, particularly in financial services arena. She's held roles in Standard Chartered Bank, has also been head of risk and reporting and analytics at Habib Bank, which is the largest bank in Pakistan. But currently, she is head of process governance and business ops risk in Mashreq, which is a digital innovator bank. So, you know, a lot of different employers there. But Asma, I want to pass over to you now. You're very welcome, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. Do you want to fill in the gaps for us there? I kind of gave a very, very potted history of your last few roles, but I know there's been a lot from the day that you decided to be a chartered accountant and how you got to where you are today.
Firstly, thank you very much, Sinead, for having me here. It's really a privilege. Thank you very much. Yes, I mean, you've covered pretty much, my professional journey. But if I really start, I have to start from the time that I decided to become a chartered accountant. I think it was, really back in school, I remember. And, my uncle, my mom's brother mentioned that, a friend is a chartered accountant and he's doing very well and like that. So my decision really was driven by the fact that, you qualify and you become independent very soon and, financially independent very soon and, you get paid well. So that was, I'll be very honest, the very first reason why I, instantly decided, okay, this is what I want to do. And from then on, just did my intermediate and all of that and got into an accountancy school and all of that. And so whether it was, a lot of hard work that I had put in, I did probably put in a bit of hard work, but my mother's support and, I think, and I did get lucky. And that I would say with my mother's prayers, definitely. that it didn't, alhamdulillah, take me very long. Because I had heard that people grow old doing chartered accountancy, and there's a very little passing percentage and all of that. But I did qualify at as young as 22 years old. And that, so I mean, and there were times in between when a lot of my batchmates were leaving and they were pursuing graduate, like BBAs, and business, they were moving into business management and ACC and all of that, because of the fear that if they fail, they won't be able to kind of take that and all of that. So there was a time when I also changed my mind, and that was the time that I got support from my uncle, that you have to have believe in yourself. What do you mean you're not going to be able to do it? So yeah, so a lot of I think faith in yourself, family support and all of that. I crossed that. I took over that fear and moved on, and alhamdulillah, God was very kind that I was able to finish it in time. I did my articles from PwC in Pakistan, and after that, so that was the era, when I was looking at external audits and auditing a lot of different banks and financial institutions, and in between, some very interesting clients, which is like biscuit manufacturing and like those. Then I moved into industry. I had, mainly because I had been associated with the financial services industry. So my first job in the industry was with a multinational bank in Pakistan, in the internal audit function. And though internal audit sounds like this is also audit, and I had been doing external audit, but there was quite a bit of difference, I would say, between the two worlds, because as an external auditor, we were really number crunchers, but in internal audit, you really have to see how are the controls working, and you're more focused on that. So that was a huge learning. I was part of the internal audit function for like 5-6 years. Around 5 years, I would. And then came a time. So I'll talk about that break later. But there came a time when I took a break of a couple of years when I had with my elder one. So he had turned 3 at that time. But yeah, that was the time I decided to take a break. Then my next role was, as you mentioned, was one of the biggest banks in Pakistan. It was Habib Bank. I spent 2 years there, but they were very rewarding years. I got the opportunity to lead a very big, project, and it was, I think it added a lot to my experience. And yeah, so currently I'm, with Mashreq Bank, and so this is now the first line role. So it's been a lot of learning all throughout, from being an external auditor to being third line of defense, and then becoming a second line of defense. So yeah, so it's been a very rich journey, alhamdulillah.
Fantastic, and what a big journey in such a short period of time. So congratulations. Asma, you mentioned your family there quite a bit. Your uncle and your mother. They obviously are big influences in your life, and is that something that is usual in Pakistan, or are you very different in that regard?
I think I would say anybody, like any girl, especially if, even today we were having a discussion over that. So, there has to be a lot of support. I mean, and that really helps you kind of move smoothly. Or if that support is not there, I see a lot of children, who are kind of taking that initiative, and even when they don't have the support, but I think the support, having the right kind of support, is very, very important. And I do see, like, around me, like, even families who are not very educated themselves, or the mothers who are not very educated themselves, they are now being big sponsors for their children. So yeah, that is something that I do see, quite a bit around me, and it's not something very uncommon. But yeah, but there would be probably, there would be regions, or some you can say backgrounds, where probably the education is not kind of supported that much. But yeah, in the city where we kind of operate out of, yes, it's very common that women do get the support, or the children do get the support of their parents or their families when they're trying to pursue any education. But if the question is specifically for chartered accountancy, I would say there is a bit of a I would say there is a bit of a hesitation that comes in, that, oh, it will take so much time, and especially in case of women, girls, it's like, oh, by the time you will be of the age where you will need to get married, what if you're still, kind of studying and like that. So I think that has been a factor. I have seen women giving up, their studies, but I have, also seen women who have continued their education even after getting married and even after having kids. So I mean, I have seen, a lot of families encouraging um, their daughters, their sons, for that matter, to come into chartered accountancy.
Yeah, no, that's great. And look, I mean, certainly from in my role as President of Chartered Accountants Ireland, it's something that is really dear to me, to ensure that there is that ability to be able to do both, whether you're a male or a female, have a family and have a very successful career. And it's something that the more I speak to the global difference makers in these podcasts, it is something that chartered accountancy offers. So long may that continue, and may we be good ambassadors for that. Asma, just picking up a little bit about your career there. So you trained in external audit, and then you did the flip into internal audit. It's always a trajectory that I'm interested in, because, whilst they're same name, they're very different cousins, aren't they? I mean, what would you see as the learnings that you got from both aspects?
So absolutely, so building on to what I was saying, that as an external auditor and as a student of chartered accountancy, I think numbers have been our love, right? So you want to see numbers, you want to crunch numbers. That's all you want to do. And even so, in external audits as well, and a lot of you can probably relate to that. That we had to do test of controls. There was this thing that you had to do, but I think the focus was just really, I mean, I feel that it was kind of a tick box exercise. I'm not saying that we were not doing it, but probably not with that rigor that we do in internal audit. And when like moving into Acha, so the beauty of external audits was that I would go look at the financials of different companies, and I would have to understand their businesses, and kind of try to make sense of, okay, what's generating revenue and what's driving the cost, and all of that. But and similar so but For internal audit, I think that learning started becoming where you are understanding these businesses, not to understand the numbers, but to understand what kind of risks can be there that can, that can make things go, south. So that was basically, I think, and although, they're both called audit, as you're mentioning, Sinead, but yeah, I would say they're completely different worlds, to be very honest. I mean, having that mindset of, okay, if you need to have what kind of risk are there in the business. So for that, you have to understand the goals of the business or the function. What's the purpose of that function, and what can hinder that function from achieving that goal or that objective. So it's a very different lens. I would completely agree with that.
Yeah, but both very good. I kind of want to say base or platforms for young chartered accountants to train in and get a holistic feel for our art.
One skill set that I think every chartered accountant, I would believe, would have, is to go into a new business, company, department and know nothing about it, but have the ability to basically learn and be able to audit it. So, and that's always a kind of a battle also, that, even in external audit and in internal audits, we always used to hear that, you guys know nothing. We are the ones who train you. We tell you know what we do, and you come and you audit us. So, but I always then, I got very used to it. I was like, but that's how it works, right? That's our job. We'll take information from you, understand what all you do, and try to tell, what is doing as per the procedures, policies, and what's not going as per as it should be going. So yeah, I think it's a great place to start your career from. You get to, I mean, even in internal audit, I was lucky enough to have audited, areas of retail banking, areas of corporate banking. So it really gives you a full spectrum, I can say.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And then, so that internal audit foray, where you kind of went into the world of controls and, as you say, to really understand risk, was that what brought you into your role in Habib Bank? I mean, you were head of risk reporting and analytics, and I know you're quite passionate about the role that analytics plays in the sector. Talk to me a little bit about that role and what you liked about it and what you learned.
Yeah. So I think analytics is one thing that, like, even in internal audits, we used to call it a computer assisted audit technique. And we were given targets that every year you have to do at least you have to use these, you used to call them cats, you have to use them in at least 10% of your audits, and that percentage kept increasing year by year, only kind of emphasizing on the fact how you have to become more efficient and and do audits more smartly. And that's not only true for audits, that's very true for for any governance function, any second line function, even any, I think, first line function. So yes, so my role at HBL, I was hired for the role of risk reporting and analytics, and it really, so before that I thought I had done a few cats and all of that, but that was a really it opened up my eyes to a much bigger universe, right? So why is it so important? Why is the quality of data so much important? I mean, we as traditional conventional auditors, we would pick up a sample of 30, 25, 30 transactions and review them, and if we are even more curious, or to know more, we would probably pick up a sample of 5, 10 more, and like that. But analytics really kind of opens up another, the whole world to you. I mean, you don't have to now look at just a sample of 20, 30, 40. You can actually learn about the whole population. So you kind of pivot, different aspects of data, and you can see that, what all is going wrong. So that really, I think it's an excellent, it can be used as an excellent risk management tool. So, and I would, so even like in any job, like whatever you're doing today, I think there is a big role that analytics can play, how it can really, I think, empower you with information, and then it's up to you, that what kind of actions you're taking. But it really it gives you the power of knowledge that, okay, so this is your portfolio, and all this is, what's green, all this is what's red, so what's working, what's not working on the whole on the whole population, rather than just a very selected sample that we have always been doing as trainees and all of that, or even during my tenure as an internal auditor. So I think analytics, so that way, yes, I think I'm a big supporter of using analytical tools, and having dashboards, and I think that's a very good management tool as well.
Yeah. And do you think that we arm our students enough in understanding, I suppose, the use of analytics and how to interpret numbers, or is that something that you think we as a profession can get better at?
I think, Sinead, we are very naturally, I think the students of chartered accountancy, I think they understand numbers, right? But the
Yeah.
tools that you have to use for, data analytics, that is something which I feel is definitely, till the time I was in touch, with academics, it was very much missing. But
Yeah.
having said that, I know that, ICAP, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan here, is taking a lot of steps to kind of, introduce these courses, these diplomas, where the students can, enroll and learn more, and kind of become experts even at data analytics. So, a lot of appreciation for what ICAP is doing. But definitely, I think we need to look at, and probably they already are looking at it. Pardon my lack of information there. But yeah, definitely, I think this is one area that needs to be incorporated in the curriculum for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's an area that just is moving so quickly around us in the external environment that we need to sprint to keep up. But I do think that people are looking to chartered accountants. I mean, we're one of the most trusted professions, as is constantly, comes out in the Edelman Trust Barometer. So I do think we need to keep that and keep those skills to the fore. Asma, when we talked previously, just as we were kind of preparing for this podcast, you mentioned to me, the importance of building relationships. So going on the complete other side of the fence of interpreting data, the importance of building relationships and managing stakeholders. And I know you've got some quite strong views on how that is maybe different for males and different for females. Can you share a little bit with us about that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, Sinead, as I feel I have matured as both a person and a professional, uh, I think that is one thing that I have learned is absolutely important, for any professional. I mean, so as so thinking from the point of view of a trainee who joins an audit firm and starts auditing and tells the client that, okay, I need this information, tuck 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 tuck, and and like that, and if they don't get the information, then they are like escalating it. Hey dear like so and so, I've not received the
Yeah.
information, back and forth of emails and all of that. And I think that's also fine. Somebody has to get the job done, but the point being that you get the work done in the best possible way when you have a good rapport with the people who you're working with. I think there are absolutely no two ways about it. And as you become senior, and or if you want to kind of progress and become a leader, I think that's one quality that for sure you need to have, which is to be able to engage with all sorts of stakeholders and be able to sit with all sorts of people and sort out an issue. And that'll only happen if you kind of just appreciate that. So even when you are having a conflict with somebody, just keep the doors open and keep the conversations going. And I think so as I think naturally when you are an auditor, and I don't know, I might be wrong there, but I think you're more in the phase where you're like, okay, I need this information, and you're gonna give it to me. But there are many. So when you move, so you don't, not everybody always remains an auditor. All the chartered accountants, they move into different positions in finance and risk, and in audits, even in the organizations. But you have to kind of, I think, understand that people will but people will kind of support you when they see you as somebody that they can talk to or who understands their
Yeah.
problem. And that only happens when you have a good, I think, you are emotionally intelligent. You have that
Yeah.
emotional quotient. So I think that is very very important. And just my views on how you mentioned how is it different for men and for women. So I think so that's a cultural thing, maybe. But I think for women, sometimes we do feel that I cannot talk to a male colleague, for example, very friendly. And especially when you are very early on in your career, when you're very very young, and you think that okay, and this is, I'm talking more culturally, and I hope that females, or the CS students who are watching, from who are from Pakistan or this region, they can probably take something positive out of this, is that they're mostly afraid of kind of talking to the male colleagues, or having that kind of a professional relationship where they can rely on somebody else to be helping them. So I that is something that I've learned. It's okay. It's actually, it benefits you, and one shouldn't be afraid. I mean, of having a good professional relationship with a male and a female. But don't be afraid of that. Although in our culture it's a bit difficult. and there can be I think women are much more afraid that if they people can start saying, okay, this person is a little too friendly and all of that. But I mean, that is something that you have to, I think, put aside. And I
Yeah.
think, Sinead,
Yeah.
as we discussed, another discussion was around, I mean, probably, be in touch with people who you share values with,
Yeah.
and not with people who are always kind of ready to take you down over one thing or the other. That is also, I think, very, very important. And I think, so, and if you want to progress, whether you're I think, male or a female, but I think females are a little bit more, they're a bit more sensitive, I would say. That's, at least that's how I have been, and I've seen a lot of my friends being like that. So you have to have a very thick skin, and be very focused. This
Yeah.
is what I want, and this is the way I need to go about to get to my goal. So I think it's very important to surround yourself with people who add to your energy, who add to your basically aspiration, rather than taking anything away from it. So I think, as long as you know that your direction is right, I think don't shy away just because somebody, oh, people will, what will people say. I think that's something that women should start thinking less and less of, because I think it's more in your own head than anything else, and it only takes away from your, I think, aspiration, and from your own, the fire that you have inside.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my.
So, Asma, you have said so much there. So let's try and unpick it, because there's some really, really good messages there, I think. I think the first thing is the importance of a relationship, in that, being a chartered accountant, or being an effective professional in whatever you do, is not just about the output. It's not just about the deliverable. It's about how you do it and those relationships that you make along the way. I think
Yeah.
the second thing that I took from you there, which I love, is surround yourself, or try and surround yourself as much as possible, with people who you have shared values with. And I think that's profound, and also positive people, because
Yeah.
I know you feel that negative people bring you down. And then the third thing that I heard, which I think is really important, is and I might unpick this a little bit, is have a thick skin.
Yeah.
So that's about resilience. That's about, again, maybe surround yourself with the positive people. But having a thick skin is maybe something that comes with experience, with maturity. What 1 minute word of advice could you give to the younger cohort that are listening, as to how do you develop a thick skin?
I think, firstly, just knowing, like, within yourself, knowing that, what I'm doing, is it the right thing to do? And if you feel that that's the right thing to do, I mean, have faith in yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, if you keep listening to, what all so many other people are saying, I mean, you just lose direction, right? So as
Yeah.
long as you know that what you're doing is right, just, have faith in yourself and carry
Love
on.
it. Love it. Love it. So it comes a little bit back to those values again. Know that what you're doing is right, and then just stick by it and have the confidence.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Asma, tell me a little bit about your outside interests, outside of work. Man, I know you're busy. You're a mum. You've got a lot going on. What do you do to relax, or do you get time to relax?
So Sinead, I think the one thing that I've learned, and as I've matured, is that you have to really make compartments in your brain, and you have to make compartments in the 24 hours that you have. So I try to balance everything out by allocating time slots to different things. So yes, as you mentioned, I've got two beautiful sons, and they're very difficult to handle sometimes as well. I'm gonna be completely honest, but I think that's all part of the game. So I do like to I'm into fitness a bit, and
Mhm.
so I enjoy my walk, in the evening. So I don't want to miss it, no matter what happens. And that's also, I think, uh, part of the fact that I like to stay disciplined. And that is something that I enjoy. During COVID, I learned how to paint. So that is one thing that I like to do. I seldom get a chance to do that, but yeah, even if I finish one or two paintings a year, I'm very happy. And I think it's
Brilliant.
very, very important to have some hobbies or some interests, or to
Mm.
have some way of, I think, relaxing your mind. Because even so, there were times in my career where it was all work, 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 and nothing else. But I think and those were the times when I was very, I think that was most stressed time of my life. And now when I look back, and at that time you feel that, oh God, this job is so difficult, and all that. But I think as you mature, you kind of also learn to how to kind of manage your time in a better way.
Mm.
And now I can't even think of kind of spending a day without having that time when I can actually unwind. But I do understand it's a luxury. I know many people who struggle a lot, especially women, because I think we take responsibilities for a lot more things than we have to. We try to
Mm.
overcompensate. Many of my friends I know, we try to overcompensate a lot. So I think it's okay to be a bit kind to yourself. And things do get kind of off tracked, and sometimes it's okay, even in your personal life. So it's really it's really a balancing act. Someday there will be days when you will be more spending more time on your official commitments, and you won't have much time for your personal life. But there will be days when you can kind of
Yeah.
flip the balance the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you say you think it's okay to spend time, to take time for yourself. I think it's more important than that. I think it's crucial that we all take time for ourselves, whether that is, as you say, a walk, or
Yeah.
a sit and read the book, or a whatever you may do. But yeah, I get it. Sometimes we get so wound up in our own
Yeah.
busy lives that it's hard to do. But I think, look, that's another takeaway from this chat that I think is really important for people. um I don't want to delve too much into kind of the look forward, but anything in your goals or life plan that you can share with us, that maybe is an aim you want to tick off.
So Sinead, I think there's still quite a few things. I feel there's always a lot of things to look forward to. I have so on a personal level, I had certain targets for myself that last year I gave myself a target that I will learn how to swim. And although it's very late, at this
Wow.
age, that I had this kind of you can say target. But yeah, so it was so it's something, I think, on a personal level also. I do keep some challenge for myself, that this is something that I've not done, and I would like to do that. Similarly, when you said this recent move of mine that I made, career wise also, that was also like a challenge. That is something that I had not done before. Becoming part of a team which is planning to launch a digital bank. So every year there has to be some challenge. I would like to do something that I've not done before. Um, for this year, I think it's too early to say, and I don't want to jinx it, because already I think there are certain challenges around that. But yes, I do have plans, at least at a personal level, that I would like to achieve, other than the professional plans, that my organization has. That though, that those though I definitely have.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. I love that. I love the way you talk about professional plans and personal plans, and that they're separate but they're intertwined. And tell me, have you started the swimming journey?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So last year I did learn how to swim, but I'm still very afraid
Wow.
of water. This year the plan is to get comfortable with it. I mean, it
Great.
shouldn't be like, when you get into water, I should be able to enjoy it rather than I have to get to the other end. So that is still there.
I think that's
But
amazing, because I've heard so many people who have gone to swimming, you know, as an adult, and I believe it's really, really, really difficult. So yeah, keep going. Best of luck. That's fabulous.
thank
Um,
you.
Asma, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. You've brought
Same
to
here.
the chat a different lens from our other discussions. You know, very much the focus on financial services, very much the focus on governance and risk. But your authenticity shines through, and you know the thank you for being so honest about the networking piece, about building relationships, and about your personal goals. You've had an amazing journey to date, and I wish you all the best going forward. And I have no doubt that we will see and hear a lot from you, as you definitely are a true difference maker.
Thank you so very much, Sinead. And I would really like to appreciate the opportunity that you've given me to speak. And you women like you, I think, definitely are an inspiration for many of us. But really, I do believe a lot in kind of empowering each other. And women like you are definitely an inspiration. So thank you very much for having me. Thanks.
You are more than welcome, and thank you very much. Thank you very much to everyone for staying to the end of this podcast. It has been my pleasure to talk to Asma Shabazz. Thank you very much, and goodbye.